Hi friends, it's Murph. Welcome to my kitchen. Today I thought I'd show you how I make my easy caramel brownies. Super easy, let's get started. In this bowl I have a half a cup of melted butter. Into this I'm going to add a chocolate cake mix. Whatever kind, this one happens to be, I believe it's devil's food, but any kind is fine. And a third of a cup of milk. That's it. Let's mix that up. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna divide this in half and we're gonna put it in a 9x13 pan. And we're gonna have like a bottom crust and then we're gonna build the caramel sauce stuff layer and then we're gonna add more of the brownie mix to the top. So this one's almost done and I'll show you how to put it together. So 9x13 pan, and I sprayed it with some cooking spray. I don't know about you, but I like caramel and chocolate. Those are probably my two favorite things together. So this one's really good and it's really easy. So that's basically it. There's a little bit more brownie that could be mixed in or a little bit more cake mix, but it's kind of fudgy looking. So here's my pan. I just gave it a little spray. So basically in my bowl, I'm gonna kind of try to like divide it in half. You don't have to be exact. I'm just trying to get approximately half to make the crust, okay? So let's try that. We'll set that aside. And then basically, this is probably the hardest part. You basically want to just kind of press it down and cover the bottom of the pan. If there's a little bit of holes, you know, like if I left a little bit like that, it's gonna kind of like spring up a little bit when we cook it. So it'll all come together, but you wanna, for the most part, try to get the whole bottom covered, you know, and fairly evenly, but it's not really hard to just kind of press it and get it as even as you can, okay? So I might grab a little bit more. So in the caramel mixture, I'll show you that. Then we're gonna have some chocolate chips, and if you like nuts, I'm gonna add some walnuts tonight, because I think caramel, chocolate, and nuts is like a little bit of heaven when it's all married together. So that's what I'm using. But you definitely don't have to add nuts, okay? Whatever works for you. So this is about it. This is what it looks like, okay? We're gonna take this and we're gonna bake it at 350 for 6 minutes, okay? And this is what it's gonna look like when we take it out of the oven. So I let this cool for a minute and it's kind of like a brownie feeling, you know, it's kind of cakey, got a little spring back to it because it's not fully cooked, but we wanna have it fairly set because we're gonna put stuff on top of it. So let me tell you what I'm gonna do next. I'm gonna take a cup of chocolate chips. I'm just gonna kind of, you don't have to probably even do it in this order if you don't want to. I'm gonna take a whole cup, put that on the bottom. Then, have you ever used these? They're like little balls of caramel yumminess. They melt really easy too. So instead of the big chunks, the big caramels, and you have to unwrap them and then maybe you cut them, I use these a lot. So all I did was put a whole bag in this saucepan with a third of a cup of milk. That's all I did. I let it melt over like medium-low heat, and now I'm gonna pour it right on top. I just let it cool for a second while I was putting everything together, just in case when we put the top layer on, it's a little hot. I just wanted to cool it just a little bit. So we want to get all that we can out of there, because caramel is better than almost butter. Okay. So just kind of give it a little spread. Of course, the second you touch it, it's going to kind of try to pick up on the chocolate chips. So just kind of as evenly as you can, but it'll move around a little bit and as well. So on top of this, I'm gonna take half a cup of chopped walnuts, and I'm just gonna sprinkle them right on top. Like I said, if you don't like walnuts, you don't have to use these. You don't have to use anything but the chocolate and the caramel, because you definitely want those together. Okay. So that is about it. Now we're gonna go back to the rest of the cake mixture. This one's a little bit tricky. You kind of want to drop it in like clumps, because we want to spread it a little bit so it just kind of coats the top. But of course, with all the stuff underneath it, it makes it kind of hard. So I just take it and just drop it in like, you know, like tablespoon sizes, and then we'll just do the best we can, but it'll cook up nice. I'll show you a little bit how I'll spread that, and then we'll show you what it looks like when it's all done. So now we're gonna put it back in the oven. Once I get this all spread, we're gonna bake it for 18 minutes. And then the real key is you need to let it cool for at least 30 minutes before you cut it, which I know is hard because it's gonna smell really good and you're gonna want to, and it's nice and ooey and gooey, but you really need to wait. Okay, so now just spread this the best you can. So you just kind of pat it out a little bit and just kind of move it around the best you can, okay? And once you get that all done, we'll put it back in the oven. And I'm just doing this kind of fast just to show you. You can take the time. You could use, you know, another spatula if you wanted to, and really kind of spread it out to try to coat it as much as you can. Okay, let's set that aside. So that's gonna cook for another 18 minutes and we're gonna let it cool. And this is what it looks like when it's all done. Let's cut it. It's not really hard, but it's really good. I don't know about you, but the first piece getting it out, it's always kind of tricky. Of course, this is all I took out of the cupboard. I didn't take a utensil out, but this is what it looks like. Oh, tastes so good. I hope you like it and I hope you try it. I'll post the recipe below. Reach out with any questions. I'll also have the recipe on the menu tab. Okay, take care.